perfect, life looks brilliant. Give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You're burying me, burying me. Yeah, you're burying me, burying me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy for the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Can I get you out of my hand again? Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy for the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my head. Get you out of my head.
Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Pulls are calling and the I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me this time is coming for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Now that I need you anyway.
Just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks a beat down, I've crossed the ledge just to tell you. Don't lead the way, don't leave a stay. Then I drown with a traveling parade. I feel like I'm fading. I teach you what I know. What comes up must come down. Gravity keeps on pulling us down. The moment is now to rise against your temporarily. The antidote is what you make it. Your ignorance don't need to fake it. Defy gravity.
I'm not quite forget. I shall tell you when that the right like this. Won't repeat the words twice. My time is surprising, no dice. We're still my rights.
That song hits.
Yes.
Love it.
Welcome
Slaps.
to Women's Classic Wrestling Podcast. We are your fabulous hosts tonight. Astrid's back.
I'm here. I'm alive. I got a voice.
You're alive. You have a voice. If this is your first time here, hit that like, share, subscribe, all the little cutesy little things because you know you love us. My name is Auntie Collins, and everyone can go first. Go second.
Oh my
I was gonna say, didn't you go first? But
Yeah, I don't know how to count. It's fine.
there's not much to say. I'm Astrid. Hello.
I am the Mel Ball, also doing Astrid's posts.
What happened there?
Bobby!
Hello,
Miss
hello.
Money.
Ooh. We like a good like a good ticker. Be sure you're following us on all your social media so that you know when we're going live, because we're here. This is our third episode. This is our third time. What did they say? 21 days makes a habit.
That's true.
It does. We at that time, girls.
All right. I feel it. I feel it in
Yes.
my bones. How was y'all's week?
I am happy because I am back at the gym and the renovations at my gym are finally pretty much over. Bob stats. So that means that I can actually finally use my machines again. And I had a back day today. When I tell you I can not really move my back or my arms a whole lot. The last couple of hours doing my makeup in front of the mirror for the show has not been fun for me.
Oh, yikes. Yikes aroni. Astrid, how was getting well? Did you actually get to like rest, or were you
I mean, I
running
did.
around
I was very lazy this past weekend, which is very nice for me. I took a lazy weekend knowing this weekend's gonna be busy for me, so I
So,
I
what-
I feel guilty about it, but I took a lazy weekend.
no, we're not feeling guilty about taking lazy days. What is your perfect lazy day? Let us know in the comments what your perfect lazy day is, because everybody deserves a guilt-free, no bones day, so to speak, right?
Yeah,
Is
working
it
on
a
looking
lazy
a guilty
day
part.
or is it self-care? Is it a self-care day?
Yeah, we love a
Mm.
self-care day.
Yeah.
See,
What do you do?
well, I always hate when life forces you into self-care, because this weekend I
You
have
went
been
on an
trying to.
adventure.
It's been wild. So I've been documenting it with my Vlogmas, and I swear that this only happens when I'm like filming or doing things, right? So I happen to have a camera outside of our apartment, and I was bringing in all the groceries, and because my husband's back has been out, so I'm like, I'm gonna do everything, and I hate multiple trips. So I
Feel
would
that.
rather obstruct my view than have to take a second trip.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I made an error. I made a grave error, because as I was walking, I cannot see because everything is stacked so high. I stepped off the sidewalk and into the grass, which was like maybe like this much lower, and it like startled me so much that I just fell. And my camera didn't capture the whole fall, but because my hands were occupied, I just fell to the ground on my knees. And
Oh,
I scraped my
jeez.
knees like a kid, which is fine. You know, they teach us in wrestling how to tuck and roll, and I did not do the roll part, so I just kind of like tucked, and you just see me on the ground just
Yeah.
screaming for my husband, who is inside.
Could you imagine if you did do the roll, though?
Yeah, that would have been really fantastic. And
Yeah. The
but
camera would have caught that part.
it would have. I just kind of
Mm.
stopped mid roll, and I just kind of stopped. But fortunately, nothing else, got injured. I, took a
Like,
nice salt bath, which I'm a bath person. I
Mm.
love
mhm.
a steaming tub with a bath, all the works, turning the
Oh,
lights
yeah.
on. I'll put this light in there, so it's like very, galaxy kind of.
Ooh.
Yeah. I
She goes all out.
Mhm.
Yes.
I give myself a nice libation, get the
Mm-hmm.
warmness. All it's my time.
Love
My
it.
time. But yeah,
Love it.
that happened on Saturday. So Sunday, I was like, I guess I'm forced to have
Mhm.
a self-care day, which was
Yes.
just me doing laundry and catching up on Grey's Anatomy.
Hey.
I wish I could be a bath person, maybe after surgery. And you know what? Baths are nice. And
Mhm.
here's the thing. I like a bath. I also like a hot tub. I like a
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've
Which
done
is
those cold plunges too. Like when I was rehabbing my back. Ooh, I love them. Oh. Oh.
No,
I'm gonna
no, I
pass
can't
on
do it.
that.
I can't do that.
There's
My
something that just in my
Oh,
brain
I
it
get
tickles
it.
it.
My dad used to do them every year when they were in the military. They would do the polar plunge. It's like a tradition every
Yeah.
winter here. Yeah. So like I have so many pictures of my dad just running out into a river in the middle of winter and just jumping in and coming back up. And I'm like, that's gonna be a strong pass there, my guy. I'm good where I am. I like being warm.
Well, that's the thing. It's there is a small amount of window that you're cold, and then you can bundle up right after. Like shocks your
Yeah.
system.
Yeah, I'll pass on that. I'm like, I feel like this is one of the few times when I feel like my privilege comes out, but I said I don't like any cold bath or shower. I can't do it. No, I'm out. Either that or just no, I can't do it. So if the heater's not working, oh my God, it's a torture. I can tell you that.
The privilege coming out. I love it.
Yeah. The only time my privilege would come out was like, no, I like my hot water.
Do you like a hot tub action?
I don't mind it really. Yeah, like anything like a hot tub or jacuzzi, like I will take that anytime.
Mm-hmm.
I like anything warm. I will say that. Because even
Anything
when I brush my
warm.
teeth, it has to be warm water. I can't do cold water. That's why I said my privilege comes out. I can't.
What? What?
No, I
I
can't
couldn't.
do.
Okay, now we're on the
I love
subject of
phrase
brushing
though.
teeth with warm water. Like, do you rinse
Yeah.
your mouth out with warm water too?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't do cold water. No. I tried to wait for the hot one, but it just takes too long. So I just do the cold one, unfortunately. But it's not my favorite.
Do you
Yeah,
take
I can't
showers
do.
that are so burning hot that your skin turns red?
Oh,
Yes.
heck
I love
yeah.
my water. Yeah.
Seventh level hell of temperature there. Yeah.
Wow. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. I'm more
You know
Melissa.
what? All
Ooh.
the more you guys enjoy the more I can enjoy my cold plunges.
No.
I love it.
Oh.
It's funny because I should like it because I'm the Canadian and it's literally like I can run out belly
Yeah.
flop in my backyard. It's like a
Mm.
polar plunge right now, just a pile
Yeah.
of snow and wet snow. I'd probably
No.
slip on the deck on the way out.
Oh no,
Oh
Auntie,
my
look,
god.
he's
Don't
getting
do
he's getting you
that.
started.
Don't do it. Don't fall. No, no. No, no. Oh my
This will be a
gosh.
really hard conversation when I say I don't like eggs.
I don't like eggs either. I don't like it. I don't like it.
No, it's a
I,
texture.
yeah, texture thing.
Dang.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm,
See, we get it. We get it. This is where our relation comes from, Auntie.
yep, exactly.
Yeah.
We pass it to each other. Yep. But yeah, life is oh gosh, the
Life
holidays
be
are
lifing.
right around the corner. How did that happen? That's so crazy. But in that
Feels like
case,
yesterday it was January.
I I know, and I was just starting on this oh, that was my dog. Hey, are you alive? Okay. Sorry, she was participating by saying she didn't like eggs by making that noise. Did you
Oh,
guys hear that?
no,
No.
I
Oh.
know the noise though. I know the noise.
Yeah, she was making that noise, which is like, are you am I gonna have to
Please not
pause
on
the
the
video?
Mm.
Wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the first time.
Oh,
But well, as we jump into this episode, thank you so much for chatting. We are here to talk Mae Young Classic episode 4. Last week, Melball and I had so much fun. Sorry, Astrid. I know you were not feeling well, but we were just riffing. It was so great. You can always catch those on the replay on this channel. We're into our 4th and final first round episode. Weird segue. You didn't even spell segue right. You gonna critique me on my weird segue?
Oh.
Listen, if we just had a compilation of all this bad segues that I have, we'd at least have one clip, right?
I will put Ed in that competition. Sorry, Ed. They're not always great.
Ooh,
Oh
geez,
my
the shade,
gosh.
the shade.
What a unicycle
Yeah.
have you done? Well, we are on our fourth and final episode of the first round of the Mae Young Classic. And this has been a very interesting ride, so to speak. So, Astrid, do you want to go first while we jump into this first match?
Yeah, this one was I was torn about it because it's we get Renee Michelle versus Candice LeRae. At this point in time, this is baby Candice, as I like to call her, because she's not a mother yet, so she almost looks like a child because she's so young in here still. But I like the fact that with the beauty packages, though, they do highlight that she's a 15-year veteran at that age, at that time. So it's incredible to think about around that time, and that was how much experience she's had so far in the industry. And like the video package that we get from her, I love what they highlight because she says like I don't want to call myself like a high flyer, but I'm like a high risk type of wrestler, and I love her the way she describes that, to be honest. Versus we have Renee Michelle, who's a little bit more of a rookie on that end of it compared to Candice. And I feel like in this match, you can kind of see that happening here, the way she sells a little bit here and there. You can kind of tell she has less experience than Candice does, and Candice doing what she can for the match here. So that's why it wasn't my favorite match of the night, because I feel like Candice is doing what she can as the veteran here out of the two. And I think Renee, what she excels at is she does what she can in between the moves to get a reaction from the crowd. Like she's working the crowd very well in that aspect in this match. So you can see like the big differences between both of them. But it's kind of funny to think about Renee being here, because Renee is later in WWE involved with Drake Maverick with the 24/7 championship type of storyline later on, as they get married and he defends the title when they get married, for example, like little bits and pieces of her that we saw in WWE. So it's just kind of ironic to see that happening, because she never got signed to WWE officially, but that was the only part that we saw from her
I
in
forgot
WWE.
about
So
that.
yeah, I had to think about it when I saw that. So I was like, but I did like the fact that they do highlight her background very well too. They say like she's I don't know if she said she was Latina, but I know she's Native American was one of the things, and among other things. So it's really interesting getting a lot of her background there as well. But this match, though, I'm very glad at the end that Candice won, because I feel like out of the two, definitely I go with Candice. She's the one that has the experience to, whether let's say, to put it like that, when she loses in the next round, she will still help uplift that person as she's leaving in the tournament. But either way, you can see here the experience that Candice has. And I love having Johnny Gargano in the crowd too, having him her, and they mention her, and I like how she says like I don't want people to think that I'm here because of my husband, like I'm here because of me. And I love seeing that in that end of it as well, because something that happens very often with the women just in general when they have a partner in, like in wrestling, they always highlight the fact that they say, oh, they're here because of their partner. And I think that's something that it happens to women often, but it doesn't happen to the men, ironically. So I'm glad that she pointed that out. She's like, I'm here because of my own merits. And it's nice to see her saying something like that and highlighting the fact that he works hard, but I work hard too. So we have our separate things, even though we're married.
Yeah, I like it. Melba, what do you think?
Well, I actually got a lot of notes on this episode. I was impressed with myself.
Ooh.
I will say though, it is still frustrating. I think I've said it every episode that the commentary is just not good for a Mel Ball who doesn't know move names. And she's
Yeah.
like trying to write them down, be like, oh, that was cool. And JR's just sitting there going, oh, well, that was an impressive move. Yes, it was, my God. What was it?
Yeah.
He didn't know. So that was a little frustrating for me, but with the help of Google and sometimes Andre, I have figured some things out. So, um, first of all, I didn't realize until Astrid said it that Renee Michelle was the same Renee Michelle. I guess I should have made that connection with the Drake Maverick thing. That was just a light bulb moment that we got on camera there. Where I was like,
Instant
oh
replay. They
shit,
see the
that
replay.
was the same
Yeah,
person.
that was great. Yeah.
Oh man. What I liked about this is that these girls, they both delivered like cutesy promos, but like the messages delivered in them were very, very different. I liked that variety there, whereas like Renee Michelle was like, be able to do this, whereas like Candice Michelle was like, I am gonna do this. It was a very nice kind of different dynamic while still doing something in a very similar way. Um, I felt like Renee Michelle was very, very sweet, almost too sweet. It was like almost too much. It was almost like sickly sweet. She's adorable though, but it was like you're a little too much. Obviously love Candice LeRae's purple gear. Just it was so nice. I love the pattern of it, and also a girl just loves purple. What? Really? That's freaking cool. I didn't know that.
Kelly.
So there is the face buster that Michelle did to LeRae, where she face busted her on the knee. It looked really, really neat, really crisp. And Michelle's kicks are actually very, very solid, very, very good. They mentioned on commentary at this point, Astrid, it was Cuban. She's Native American, Cuban, and African American. There was a sudden neck breaker that LeRae did, kind of almost like a desperation move that looked really, really crisp and good. Kind of showed off her veteranness in this. The moonsault. What happened there? Moonsault attempt by Michelle was really cool. Looked really crisp, good form. There was a second rope neck breaker and then a pull from the both legs, or pull on both legs for the win by Candice LeRae. I can't remember what they said that her move was. But it looks cool. And just the way it ended, it was such a nice nod to herself and her history on the indies there. But as Astrid mentioned, very, very distinct difference in experience in these two. It was very obvious that Candice LeRae was the much more experienced one in this match, and Renee Michelle would, there was moments of hesitation, almost like where she was going to run and then kind of stop for a second and then go and do the run, and it would cause Candice LeRae to also kind of hesitate, which I think is just again, it's just an experience thing. I'm sure as long as Michelle kept going with her stuff, she would be able to polish that up really good. But yeah, overall, I thought this was a fun little highlight match for both of them. And like also, as Astrid said, it was really sweet to kind of see like the baby Candice LeRae here, the like fresh face. Like I was like, man, it's been so long since I haven't seen her as the evil pixie. It was refreshing to kind of go back and see.
I agree with all of the wonderful sentiments and things you guys have said. So I pulled up some statistics because here I am, a numbers. I say that I'm a numbers person and then I can't count. But Candice LeRae has been doing this since 2002. 2002, 22 years. This girl has been wrestling, and she's trained 17 other wrestlers who have been in major promotions in one way or another. One of the most famous ones being Britt Baker, which is like makes sense to me that hard and fast style, that risk taking that Candice LeRae is known for. Light bulb moment came on for me of going, oh yeah, Renee Michelle, that's who she is. I've known who she is. She's kind of under the radar, but it did feel more rookie kind of thing. And I think that's the theme that's going to go and play out through this episode is we're seeing very much unpolished, but potential here. I think where Candice LeRae definitely, rose above. And I do think that Candice LeRae taking that win was the right person in this first round match. But Candice does this thing where she'll let you be even with her until you mess up. until you make a mistake. And then she uses that as leverage to get a one-up. That missed moonsault was a pivotal moment during the match where she used that to her momentum to get on top. Absolutely stunning, but I have to be a little bit critical. It was so muddy in the beginning with all the lockups and holds and everything, which I was like, why? This is pre-taped. Why is this your opening match? Why is this your opening match? Because it was so slow paced. And every other episode we've talked about, that first match has been bam, bam, bam. Why? We got to get into this episode. And it was so slow paced, but the match was only 5 minutes. Why was there nothing going on for that first minute and a half? You gotta get the attention, especially if one of the wrestlers says, I am a high risk wrestler, because that's what Candice is known for. And I don't understand the psychology of this match until we get to about minute 3.5, right? Then we're starting to do these moonsaults. Then we're starting to do these backbreakers and trying to eliminate each other and these near falls. I'm like, okay, now we're getting some momentum. But again, 5 minutes. That's all you got. That's all you got is 5 minutes. And in that first match of the evening, it was awkward. But we have this glimpse into Candice LeRae. She's going to continue on. I'm excited for her. I remember watching this being like, I really like her. I really like her hair. I think that she's cool. I love Johnny Gargano. And the crowd certainly loves Candice wrestling, Candice LeRae. So the character is coming along. But man, so much lost in that minute and a half that I was like, brain. I have to do a podcast about this. What the heck? But definitely an interesting choice for our first match. But guess we see in the crowd Alexa Bliss, which Alexa Bliss and Candice LeRae, I never connected the two. Very similar styles. Whereas Alexa Bliss is more character driven, a little bit more, when she gets into her heel. And when she was a champ, I was like, oh, this is so good. Where I think that Candice is a little bit better of a wrestler. Very similar. Would like to see them have a match whenever she decides to come back, whenever that happens.
I like that idea. I second that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, here we go.
Especially
Right to
because
our
Bliss will be a face in that situation. People will be so happy to have her back. And Candice LeRae is already seemingly an established heel.
I am so jealous of people who have gotten to meet wrestlers, because here I am. I've always been like a big personality, but when it comes to like meeting people, I'm like, oh, I can't. They're busy.
Same.
They're dealing with like people doing things. I don't want to take a picture. And for a very long time, I didn't like taking pictures of myself. So it just, I always think about those missed opportunities I remember seeing her in like 2016.
I would say it depends on where you are though, because when I was younger, I didn't know any better. So I'm not going to name the person or the situation because it was very awkward, but I was younger, so I didn't know any better. I was basically a teen when that happened. But the one I appreciate the most is when I worked at the airport, obviously being in the Orlando airport, a lot of wrestlers live in the Orlando, Tampa area. They arrive and depart from here often. And one of my favorite wrestlers ever is Wade Barrett. One of my favorites, top favorites. And I happened to see him pass by. And I'm like starstruck to the point that I'm like, do I call him by his real name or by his wrestler name? I didn't know what to say. So I said, wait, can I take a picture with you? And he's like, yeah, meet me at the end of the walkway and I'll take a picture with you. I legit left my store by itself for like 2 minutes to take a picture with him. And I was so nervous, I didn't know what to say to him. I was shaking. But at least I met the guy. So
Oh my God,
I feel for you. Yes,
But that,
an
like,
incredible story.
Yeah, that meant everything to you at that time, and
Oh,
he's.
Yeah.
my heart. Yeah,
I feel that.
yeah.
I feel a little spoiled now because I do get to interact with a lot up here because we do
Yeah.
have like the competition of the companies. I've been able to see some wrestlers really, really close. I've been able to meet some, and I'm like you guys though. I'm just like, no, I don't want to. That's why I have Andre, freaking 2/3 there has all the personality for the both of us. And he's the one dragging me around. Mel, look, this is such and
Same.
such. It's like, hi. Now what?
Yeah. What do I do here? I don't know.
I'll second
I
that. He
like
helped me out too.
wrestling.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we jump into our next match. We have Conti or Taynara Conti versus Lacey Evans.
Hi,
Let me peek out.
Greats are the
Um,
best.
I know I'm trying to fix it, but I don't know how to.
Melball, you go first
Yes.
on this one.
Oh, I love this sassy match. This was a sassy match, just through and through. Sassy pants for everybody. I loved it. What I loved is just the very different characters that these two women were. And like, how do you say her name? Taynara?
Taynara, yeah.
Taynara? Conti. We'll go with Conti. Conti.
Conti,
Gosh
yeah.
dang it. Taya.
Just say
Ty. We'll go with
Ty
Ty.
Conti.
Yeah, Ty
We'll go
Conti,
with
yeah.
Yeah.
Conti. Okay. Hopefully I got it now. Okay, Conti. Very, very aggressive, very, very like focused, very leaning into that jujitsu thing in this one. And then you got Lacey Evans. And when I saw her come out, I was like, oh my God, I just realized how much I miss her and this gimmick. That 50s muscle mommy gimmick that she was doing with the vintage outfits and her like victory roll. I miss it so much. The sass was just so great. I love the promos also going into it because again, it was just like the first one where it was too cutesy girls doing cutesy promos. This was two very strong willed, independent women who are just like not taking no shit, but doing so in a very different way. Whereas Conti was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm stoic. I've got this. I'm trained. I'm educated." And then you have Lacey, who's just like, "Whip your ass, sugar, just because I can." It's just like it was so great the character work in this one. Um, there was a springboard kick that Evans did from the outside to the inside that it looked really cool. And then I kind of remembered, she did have this fun, unique little like accent, or it's not an accent, just like this weird little like styling about her that was very unique. She had a touch of flair, if you will, without the woo. Um, I felt like Conti was trying to flex her martial arts quite early on Evans, and because of the size difference, I feel like she struggled a little bit with it, with getting her submissions in or trying to get her a like into the thank you, Melanie. She struggled a little bit with her styling to kind of get a one up on Evans, but once she did get her off of her feet, it felt like she had a little bit better of a time with her. There's the judo toss that Conti did, and then a flip over kind of slam thing where I was like, okay, now we're going to start to see her get some one up on Evans, and I really appreciated that. Was it Black Hole Slam that she ended up doing on Evans later with the little swing around, hesitate, and then just swing right down? I was like, what? How did someone so small be able to do that? And also with that hesitation, I'm hella impressed.
Hmm.
Um, I loved when Lacey's victory rolls started to fall out and she started to look a little bit like an Elvis and then eventually like a chicken. But then she was just still so classy and holding herself up, just like, whatever. I don't care. I look good. And yes, Work it, honey. I loved it. There was the handstand into the elbow drop that Evans did that just looked so good. And again, just spoke to that little touch of flair that she would do on those nice and simple moves to just make them not so simple. It's really,
Yeah.
really nice. I like it when people do that. The headstand in the corner into the weird little Bronco Buster. Sean Conti was really funny. I was like, oh, again, that unique styling, super, super cool. Um, the Sunset Driver, I think it was. I had to look up what it was. They said it was a back to belly pile driver, or the Sunset Driver by Evans for the win. Super cool. Momo Watanabe also does that. I really, really like that move because it pins the person as well as like just slams them down on the back of their head. Very dominant win for Evans. I liked the character work so much in this because both of them really leaned into their characters and like Conti really has very kind of almost an over animation about her that makes her really fun to watch. And then Lacey Evans leaning so much into this Lacey Evans character it was so fun to watch the two of them just go toe to toe. It was like, what was that like old television show, Deadliest Warrior? It was like watching an episode of that without weapons. It was nice.
I've never seen that.
Oh, we're going to have a conversation after. Because that would make this episode ridiculously long to try to explain all of that.
I love it. I love it. There was so much wrestling packed in. Let me tell you, 4 minutes and 43 seconds. So much compared to the previous match that it was so slow to start and it was awkward and there were so many arm holds and everything. There was so much that happened here. And that's what I want. That's what I want in my first round, right?
Yeah.
I love the Lacey Evans sassy, you know, whatever. It's a shame that she's kind of a trash person outside of her persona. But I love that. Yeah, she's not a great human.
Unfortunately, that's a theme on this episode too, though.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the main event. But I really love Tay Conti. I love how far that she's come. I really liked her promo that was not in English, but I felt every single word, even with the subtitles. I was like, I feel like I know Brazilian because I know who she is as a wrestler now, and you could easily tell who the heel and the face were at the beginning of the match. But I found myself cheering for both of them. I know that Lacey Evans at this time was more so a face when she was on NXT. But I think that she fits far better as a heel. But definitely so much wrestling packed into, a small chip bag. And it was really exciting to see. So if you want to go see a lot of wrestling that happens in 4 minutes, definitely check out this episode because there was a lot that happened. I do want to talk about wrestlers' ring attire, right? Their entrance gear and their ring attire, because I think even to a crowd that may know you from some dark matches, may know you from some appearances on NXT, your ring gear can speak so much more about you than can come across with any promo. So I really think that Lacey Evans really brings it with her little snap away skirt and the victory rolls and everything, because we know exactly who she is. And Tay Conti coming out with her, Brazilian flag and everything that is about her braids. Wait, was she wearing braids? Yeah, she was wearing braids.
No, she had the
wasn't wearing
mohawk
braids.
braid.
Oh, the mohawk braid.
Yeah.
But even that was like, she came for business, because when I see a fighter wearing braids, either one or two braids, I know that they're not going to do hairography, so to speak. That's the kind of show, if you saw Wicked, you know what I mean by hairography.
Toss.
Yes. But it definitely was the standard kind of match of, this is how you build a wrestling match. And I loved it. I loved it. I didn't know I would love this first round match so much. So Melba, I know moves, but this was one of those matches that I was like, I could write down all the moves, but how do you, how do you do that? Because the moment that you're talking about one, they're going into another, and then some sort of, you know, headstand thing and arm drag, and I'm like, what is happening? It was all great. I really liked it.
There's a lot of like tapping on my keyboard where I'm like, pause, pause,
Yeah.
pause, pause, pause. Rewind, rewind, rewind. What was that again?
Yes.
These episodes are only, what, 45 minutes to an hour long. Not for a Mel ball. Nay, nay. Hour and a half, minimum.
That's Melball's afternoon right there. Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's my
gosh.
relaxing time in the evening.
Yeah, I love it. Astrid, what'd you think?
Well, I wanted to go back to Eric, even though you answered your own question. I didn't want to interrupt Mel while she was talking. But yes, we're talking about the Mae Young Classic. We're on the 4th episode now, so this is where our discussion is about. I really enjoy this match. I again, like Auntie said, leaving Lacey Evans, the person aside, I'm just talking about the wrestler.
Mhm.
I had enjoyed Lacey's character in NXT though, but being her in this match, it made me think of, oh, the girl from NXT is gonna win. Versus like I would have wanted Ty to win this match because she showed up so well during this. And around this time too, they saying, you know, she has 22 years of experience within martial arts, and like you can see that she's so smooth in the ring, even though she's technically a rookie in wrestling though. And she's so versatile with everything that she does. The way she just swings Lacey Evans back and forth, who's a lot taller than her and heavier than her, in such a smooth way. It's so scary to think about. It's like, how does she do it? I don't know. And I don't want to find out, but she's great at it though.
It's all about the
And that
leverage.
the way she does it is so smooth, and like I like the way that she like compared to like for example Renee in the opening, she's so smooth and she moves from one thing to another one in such a way that it's just incredible to watch, and I love seeing that the sequence that she does. I think from Lacey, like Mel said, that like stomp in the corner, I think is what made a great crowd reaction here though. I feel like that's when the crowd went, holy moly, like this is it. But again, I enjoyed what happens here with both of them. So like into this match. I feel like this and the main event were definitely like my matches of the night. But it was just like, holy crap, how does Ty do this? And knowing that she goes to AEW and gains a lot more experience later on too. And we get to see a whole different side of her with the hardcore matches over there too. But this is just, I would say, like a little baby Ty Conti to think about that way. It's just incredible to think about. But she does so great in the ring. It made me wish it would have done a little bit more with her in NXT rather than release her at that moment when they did. Because I feel like she had a lot more potential to do more based on what, if this is the foundation, she would have done a lot better later on as she kept learning. But again, I enjoy this match a lot.
Well, do you remember that Tay Conti had shirts on, and but even before she was released, where she basically was asking to be released? So I think that Tay Conti already knew at that time, I have so much potential, but no one is tapping into it. Is it because I don't speak English? Is it because I don't have the look they're going for? And we found out, you know, in AEW, that really isn't any of the factors that would hinder her from how great she is. I always think of that street fight with her and Anna Jay and how bloody that got. I'm like, well, there you go. You wanted to know if she could do something hardcore, not just judo. There you go. There you go. That proves her. But oh my goodness. Well,
Yeah.
Lacey Evans goes on to face Toni Storm next, which interesting. That'll be an interesting next round face for Lacey Evans. But we do go into Nicole Savoy versus Reina Gonzalez, who becomes Raquel Rodriguez. Do you want me to start? I can start.
Yeah,
I can
go
start.
for it,
I'll
girl.
start.
Yeah. Get
So
it, girl.
yeah. Nicole Savoy, she's billed as the queen of excuse me, she's billed as the queen of suplexes often where she goes. So if you know me, you know that one of my favorite moves is a suplex. Any kind of suplex. You pull a suplex out of the hat, I'm into it. Let's go. And then you have Reina Gonzalez, who is 6 foot, and has lineage in WWE. Her father was in what was his name? No, I didn't write it down.
Ricky Gonzalez.
Ricky Gonzalez. Thank you. Absolutely. So, but this is the thing. It's like Nicole Savoy is supposed to be this power, but for some reason she's trying to play the David role in the David and Goliath, which felt weird. But because, Reina is in that Goliath position, she's doing the heel thing. And I noted, there's no handshake, which me, Ring of Honor brain. That's what I noticed the moment that this match starts. So I go, we've already got attitude going into this match. And again, a lot happened in this 4 minutes. 4 minutes and 25 seconds. This is the shortest match out of all of them. But with Raquel going, I'm going to keep going, Raquel. That's what's going to happen.
Go for it. Don't worry about it.
We know.
Raquel is, yeah. She was also, yes, Raquel Gonzalez. But with her Spanish, all she had to do was control how little Nicole was, right? All she had to do is make sure that she is in one place. But the thing that I love about Nicole is that she's not going to let you do that. She's maneuvering out of holds. She's getting out of the turnbuckle, which is exactly where Raquel wanted her to be, is to be stuck in that turnbuckle. And there were a couple spots where I was like, oh, that looked like it was painful. But for a person that is a suplex queen, the moment those suplex hits, you could see stars. I was like, yes, let's go. Yes, let's go. Yes, go, go, go. And honestly, it's a short match. So I wasn't expecting much. I knew it was going to be short going into it. But we kind of see the shades of the different wrestlers that are probably going to be going on. Very similar to Shayna Baszler, very similar to Toni Storm, very similar to Kairi Sane, right? We're seeing these characters that were already on NXT or rumored for NXT that they kind of want. And this is the style, the ass kicking, so to speak, that we are looking for. But it was just so short. It's too short for me. But I kind of wished that it had gone more. Nicole Savoy defeating Raquel Gonzalez, Reina Gonzalez, whatever she is. But
You got to come up with a name like I do with whatever he is on AEW, D-Bri-Bri-D, D-B-D-Do-Da-Day. What can we do with that? I don't think my brain's
Brian.
moving fast enough to
Brian.
come up with that.
Brian, man, Brian.
Reina
Yeah.
G Reina, Raquel G.
G Reina Gonzalez. No, G Reina. I'll have to workshop it. But we're not
Next week
gonna
on Women's Classic Wrestling.
Yeah. But seeing more of a technical wrestler go up against a powerhouse that is Reina was really nice to see in that first round, because it really wasn't a David and Goliath after all. It was just powerhouses in a first round not a lot of time. But I believe looking at the chart, Nicole Savoy goes on to face Candice LeRae in the next round, which could be great, could be not great. I don't know, but the match didn't tell enough of a story for me, but I liked it nonetheless. All right, Melbo,
Yes.
give us your technical wrestling prowess over here.
So this was another one where I felt that there was a very different level in skill and experience here. Savoy definitely coming in, she just felt more tailored, more kind of primed, and it was obvious from her promo, and then the promo coming in, you could see Shayna Baszler in the background and stuff. I'm like, okay, she's got some experience, and if she has Shayna at her back, she's going to be good. Um, Gonzalez to me felt like the rookie in this one. I felt that there was a little less um, video stuff of her, where I was like, okay, cool. I knew she ended up becoming whoever she is now. What is it, Raquel?
Rodriguez, yeah.
Whatever what is with all these identity crisis people coming out of the WWE, man?
Well,
Figure out your ish. The dementia era is over. We don't need this confusion anymore.
It's called
Um,
copyright. We want to own you, so.
yeah.
So, yeah, I just felt that there was a little bit of an obvious difference in experience where there were some moments where you could tell Gonzalez would go a little slower than maybe she could, just because she maybe wasn't unsure of where the direction she was supposed to be going. But otherwise, I felt this was really, really solid kind of show-off match for both these girls. In the beginning there, I liked how Gonzalez was kind of doing all these like power and strength moves where Savoy was trying to get her to get tossed, for example, for an arm drag, but Gonzalez would grab her and redirect her, be like, nope. I liked that show off of the strength. Um, the one thing I wanted to mention about Gonzalez's gear, though, I was not a fan. I didn't feel like it looked like it was TV ready, like this level kind of ready. I would have liked to see her wearing something a little bit different in this. The Was there something going on with the eye that I was not aware of, or a gimmick or something? Like, why was she the Phantom of the Opera, but like the hillbilly one?
I'm
I
glad I'm
don't
not the only one.
understand. Like, I don't understand why it was there because there's still the hole. Why are you wearing the thing if there's a hole? I don't get it. Anyway, maybe there was a
Hillbilly
story there
one.
that I didn't know, but it was weird. Um, there was a Rana by Savoy to get Gonzalez down, but Gonzalez able to regain control by just grabbing the hair. It wasn't always so like technical in this one. They got a little rough with each other, and I loved it. Um, there was at one point Savoy was trying to do something with Gonzalez's leg, and it looked like there was just kind of like a miscommunication um, going on there, and Gonzalez kind of ended up falling on top of Savoy, and then they just kind of continued with the sequence afterwards. Um, Massive sidewalk slam by Gonzalez not long after. Just so good. The power she has, so good. There's this weird, I don't see this often. Gonzalez did like a Boston Crab, but she was standing the other way. And I was sitting
Was
there, I'm
that
like, is she gonna
intentional?
do a dingle? Is she gonna do a dingle tangle? She just got to grab those wrists, put her
Yeah,
in a
no
dingle
lie. It reminded me of Cameron when she pinned Naomi backwards. That's all I could think about in this moment when I saw that. I'm sorry.
There was a pin like that?
Yeah, obviously you pin a person with the shoulders down. She pinned
Oh,
Naomi when
okay,
she was
yeah, yeah, yeah.
backwards, with the obviously upside down like that. Yeah. So that's what it
Oh,
reminded
okay,
me of.
okay.
I'm sorry I had to when you said that.
Yeah. Because it looked like a Boston Crab. So I was like, that's really cool. But Savoy was able to reverse it. I really liked how, okay, Savoy was in the fireman carry. It looked like Gonzalez was going to try to drop her again, but she was able to get that double wrist lock in and then bring Gonzalez to the ground and set her up for that armbar finish. I really like that. Because as you mentioned, Auntie, it was like the David and Goliath thing, and all David had to do was kind of tie up the arm, and it was done. I liked it. I was kind of like not completely sold on Gonzalez in this match, just because I know who she ended up being, and so much better now. Yeah, I had a really good time with this match, and like now I'm like sitting here, I'm like, have I seen Savoy? I don't recall if I have, but I want to. This match was great.
I'll compile a list of Nicole Savoy matches for you if you'd like.
Ooh.
Oh yes, please.
Because her
Put them in the chat, though.
suplex. Put them in the chat. Okay.
No, I mean like in our chat, because I want to see.
Oh, I was like, right now? You want them right
No.
now?
I was thinking too, based
We're
on
in the middle of something, Astrid.
are we then? No, this is what I wanted to point out too during this part. Thank you, Millie, for doing it. If you see the shades of Nicole, you're probably thinking because she kind of reminds you a little bit of Mercedes and Shayna, because she, as you can
Mhm.
see in the video package, she was like, I won't say teaming up with them very often in Shiver. So you can kind of see glimpses of how similar they are, if that makes sense. I'm not saying obviously they're entirely the same, but you can see the influence, if that makes sense. So for me, I
100%.
felt the same way watching her there. It's like, I feel like I've seen some, like a sprinkle of this before, and I'm like, oh, the Mercedes and the Shane in the background. I had to pause it and put that note in there when I saw that. So, and like you said, it's like I feel like this is very similar to Renee and Candice at the beginning. You can tell who's the rookie and who's the veteran. You can tell Nicole here has the experience behind her versus Raquel doesn't. I'm glad they do point out that Raquel is a second generation, because I feel like nowadays we forget about that aspect of her. They really don't mention it on TV nowadays. So that's very nice to know. Yeah, but I was like, seeing this, I could tell that Nicole had more experience that Reina had at that moment. And yeah, and just like you, Mel, I just kept thinking, like Phantom of the Opera with the mask. I don't remember why she was wearing that, to be honest. I was thinking about it, but I couldn't remember really the aspect of why. But I'm glad Nicole won, because it just like I would have preferred somebody with more experience to face somebody else later on, especially like Nicole and Candice, they're both experienced clashing in here. I feel like that's something very interesting to think about for the next round. So I was more than happy with this match. I like the pacing of it too. I feel like if there was a way I could watch Nicole wrestle but not Raquel, I would have done that, because I enjoy Nicole. And I wanted the match to be longer, but I also didn't want to see Raquel wrestling more, if that makes sense. Because I just watched Nicole. She was so great. If she can wrestle by herself, I would have wanted that, because I enjoyed like Nicole's performance so much. So that's the
Send
part
her
that I
to
was like,
DDT. She can wrestle that blow up doll.
Melba, really, we were
Over
doing
there.
this. I would have doing this.
Thing. Kenny Omega did it. Why couldn't she? They were killing Auntie though.
Yeah, you pretty much did. I feel bad for the doll now, though.
Oh my god. Oh, so funny. OLE After Dark.
Oh my gosh. Well,
I'll have to check out this Shiver. I like that.
listen. Well, this takes us into our final match of the evening. This is also where we were talking about enjoying the wrestler for what they brought in the ring and not who they are outside of the ring. So our main event, which I didn't talk about, I didn't mention this wrestler because I know that she invokes a lot of vitriol. It's not Kairi Sane. It's Kairi Sane versus Tessa Blanchard. I have so many words about Tessa Blanchard, and I guess I'm going first. It is so much wasted potential.
Mhm.
because this match was so good. I hate that this match was so good. And I know that this was going to be a thing that we were going to talk about. We were going to talk about who she is as a person and who she is in the ring.
Mm.
It is not my story to talk about with her, which sucks because there's always going to be an asterisk with Tessa Blanchard. It's always going to be the what could have been if you weren't a racist piece of shit. You know what I mean? But I really want to make sure that we're talking about how great this match was, because at the time we did not know much about Kairi Sane. She's formerly known as Kairi Hojo. I think that's how she was in Stardom. But Kairi is so well known in Japan, and Tessa was up and coming. And if you watch Honor Ramble, or if you watch Ring of Honor lately has been doing their regular show plus doing some old school matches, right? So the week that Daniel Bryan lost his the AEW World Championship match, they did a throwback match of Bryan Danielson versus Kenta. I love me some Kenta. Kenta was the best in Japan. And Bryan Danielson was the best rookie up and coming guy. And that is the same tone going into this match. It is this Kairi Sane powerhouse, this diving neck breaker that she does that I feel like could kill someone. And then here you have Tessa Blanchard, who is the daughter of Tully Blanchard, this incredible lineage. And she's got all these accolades going into it. And I'm just going, wow, what could have been? What could have been? There was so much momentum in this match. And I really just want to highlight some things before I pass it on. I'll pass it on to Astrid next. So get your notes ready. But it felt like this was their moment, right? You put Tessa Blanchard in a first round match with Kairi Sane, it's going to be insane. Kairi Sane is insane. There was a connection with the crowd that I felt like beyond what they were doing in the ring felt important. This felt like the finals, but in your first round, which I feel like they could have had this on episode 1 and it would have been like, oh, geez, that's what we have to look for. But I think it was a great cap to the evening. I think Kairi came out looking like an absolute star, absolute right person to win, in my opinion. But by far one of the best pairings. Their chemistry together was great. What I love about Tessa Blanchard, and I hate this, is that she knows when to go, okay, the crowd is really into this. Let's slow it down a little bit. Mm-hmm. Go to the rope, do your little senton, take a second, get that at 2.999 count. Let your face have that. And I don't know if Kairi at this point had developed that, but that was like one thing in the middle of the match that I wanted to note. Mm-hmm. That near fall that was that forward rolled into like an Alabama slam or whatever, which just made Tessa look so good, which is insane to even mention because the crowd was going crazy. I was going crazy. Mm-hmm. I forgot that I was writing notes. But at the end, Kairi Sane having her beautiful chef's kiss elbow drop for the win. Man, what a cherry on top of a great match Sunday. And Kairi Sane goes on to face Bianca Belair in the next match, which is just another powerhouse wrestler. I couldn't have asked for a better main event, in my opinion. But Astrid, tell me, what were your thoughts?
How am I supposed to follow that? um, no, like you said, it's like I'm glad this was the main event though. And like I said with Lacey, putting the human being aside and the person that she is, I just bittersweet to put it like that. That there's somebody like Tessa will be like thinking about the fact that she's the first woman to be like the TNA World Champion, for example, and we don't get to talk about it because of how she is as a person. It's very bittersweet in that aspect. But like I said, taking the person aside, talking just about the match here, um, you can tell also that even though Kairi has experience, that Tessa is also helping her lead in this match, and you can see that happening. I love the clashing of the styles here because we do get that high, that high impact, like high pacing from Kairi, but then we have the hard hitting part from Tessa here as well. And I love the clashes of like when Kairi's picking up momentum, Tessa's there like a wall to like be in front of her and try to stop her. And I love seeing those bits and pieces when you see that happening there. But again, they have such an incredible chemistry. And like you said, it's like those moments of like Tessa knows when something's happening and we need to give this a little bit more room to breathe. She'll give it a moment and she'll help out Kairi to figure that out. And you can see that very well when Kairi goes for the elbow at the end, just because she's taking her time and getting that reaction from the crowd and like feeling it and like feeding herself with that energy from the crowd versus like Tessa just there waiting, giving her that moment to really shine before the match ends. But there's so many moments like Kyrie's blockbuster at the beginning. That was one that like the reaction from the crowd was just amazing to watch. I was like, holy crap. I feel like I missed those kind of glimpses from her because we don't really get that nowadays. And that Spear Out of Nowhere when it came out too, it was like the moment like she hits it and then like the reaction from Tessa and the selling from Tessa there, that was something that really stood out to me. And that 2.999 count and that reaction from Tessa there of like she was so shocked that she couldn't get the job done and she thought she had it there too. And I feel like they had such a great chemistry. It was like this match is bittersweet to watch in the first round because I enjoyed both of them and I would have wanted both of them to move on and not to have this match so early on in the tournament. It's just like, dang, I would have wanted that later on, but their chemistry was really well done. I love the show of respect from Tessa to Kairi at the end there as well. But again, I'm glad I was stuck between this one and Ty versus Lacey at the matches of the night, just because I love the styles that we got here. The pacing of it was really well done. I feel like in the main event, they really took advantage of the time because even though it was a little bit over 10 minutes, it just felt like it was a lot longer than that because of the pacing too. But again, really well done. I loved it.
Well, agreed. Melba, what did you think?
I mean, again, as Astrid said, how do I follow that up? I'm going to try to figure out what I wrote and what you guys didn't say. I do have to echo the same sentiment, though. I forgot how good Tessa was. Her in-ring psychology was just another level. It was so damn good. And I forgot that I always thought she had the muscle. I forgot that she was a smuggler at one point. Didn't take away from her power, though. Still freaking strong as hell. Um, there was the pin attempt followed by the blockbuster that Astrid had mentioned there by Kairi. It was just so incredible. And again, the crowd was just so into it. A neck breaker by Blanchard that was just so good. And just the sell from Kairi was just so good. The code breaker from the top rope by Blanchard just looked nasty. I see that a few times or like quite frequently in Japan. Stardom girls do that a lot. But it was interesting to see the Stardom girl taking it in this one instead of giving it. But it just looks so good. I felt that these two were hitting stiff as hell and I loved it. Just because I felt it added to the intensity and the emotion of the match. And it got the crowd really, really into it at this point. There was that spear by Kairi Felt like a desperation spear. And I love those moves because they end up being like 10 times more powerful than your regular kind of spear. It's almost like a I need a break. Stop hitting me already kind of move. And I loved it. Um, the march, the walking the plank, as Lita said on commentary to the corner with the sliding lariat by Kairi, just so good. I love that little again, that touch of flair that you add to the character. She could have just ran to the other corner and did a sliding lariat, but she did the cute little pirates march. I loved it. So cute. Um, there was I wrote a super forearm from Kairi to Blanchard where she came off that top rope. I just hit her with that flying forearm. So good. The abdominal stretch by Kairi, which again I had to look up because neither of the commentary people knew what the frack it was. By Kyrie on Blanchard was really, really great, but Blanchard able to make it to the ropes. There was another running lower. Oh, there was a running forearm to the back that Blanchard did to Kyrie, which I thought was super, super smart. She was showing off that really smart in-ring technique by trying to get behind Kyrie and just kind of beat her down where she couldn't see what was coming. And I liked that because it's a smart in-ring mentality to have. There was one point where, what's this say? Oh yeah, there was a suplex for two where Blanchard really started to show her frustration in this match. And again, I just came back to man, her in-ring psychology is just so damn good. It really is, as you guys have said, a missed opportunity. That super Samoan drop by Blanchard, super effective on Kyrie, but also super effective on messing up Blanchard, something fierce. Don't know if that was the smartest life choice. Um, there was also one point where Kyrie went for a sliding lariat, but it was blocked into a pin by Blanchard. Again, that super smart technical ability that Blanchard had. Such a missed opportunity. But there's that fun axe kick that led into that Alabama slam and the insane elbow for the end of this match. What a match! Such an incredible freaking match. Great main event. So sad.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't believe that like this was like a first round match. You know what I mean? Like I know that they were trying to like put the cherry on top of look at all these great first round matches. Look what's gonna come next. But man, miles above episode 3, where it was just a lot of like, this is really awkward. I'm watching a bunch of people do botches and stuff. This was so good. This was a clinic all on its own. It could have stood alone outside of this. Too bad. Too bad. All right. Let's start at the top. Astrid, what are your final thoughts about this episode?
I feel like I enjoyed most of it. I feel like the only thing was like I was thinking with the time frame because I was looking at the bottom, it was like 50 minutes, and I feel like the matches could have got a little bit more equal time that they did, maybe aside from the main event itself. But again, I feel like with the main event, they really took advantage of their time compared to most of the other matches, I would say. So again, I feel like it really showed a little bit of more who's experienced and who's not. And we could see that really more in the in-ring work here. But again, I'm glad that after, obviously this is years ago, so at this point, a lot of them have had more experience and they look and feel crispier now than they were at that time. So it's nice to see when you think about this now versus now, you could see the difference in the growth here. And I really like seeing that more than anything. But I feel like overall, it was a great episode.
Beautiful. Well, Melba, what do you think?
You know what? I feel like Astrid kind of hit the nail on the head there. This was really kind of a show that almost had everything you could want unless you were like a hardcore hungry person. There was a great amount of like variety of wrestling, variety of experience. Everyone got to show off their stuff, but that main event though, that really was, as you said, that cherry on top for this whole thing. I had a lot of fun with this episode. And considering this is my first time watching these matches and taking this in all for the first time, it made me feel good because I was like, man, I missed out on this the first time.
Yeah.
Probably should have watched this and regret my life choices.
Yeah. I have to say, this is my favorite episode. I think the first episode was my favorite episode. And then this one kind of became my new favorite episode. That Kairi and Tessa match, I'm not going to be over. I'll probably rewatch it on my way into episode 5 as we prepare for it. I think that Kairi Sane has come such a far length as a star. And I love seeing the beginnings of stars becoming bigger than the moon. You know what I mean? I think that Conti and Lacey Evans had really so much packed in a what is the saying? 5 pound bag and a 2 pound
Excited.
2 pound sack. I can't remember. I'm really bad at remembering. You guys have no idea what I'm saying. But it's like it's like a bunch of things packed in a small package, right? Which I really wasn't expecting them to pull so many punches. The only disappointment I think was that first little bit of the main event, I guess. Just because it started off so slow, but I think that this has quickly become. Thank you, Millie. Thank you. You know what I'm trying to say. That's all I need. Is you knowing what I'm saying. But I'm excited to jump right into our second round because man, oh man, I was not ready to show. But I'm going to tell you our second round matches if you don't mind if I go over them again.
Of course.
All right. So for our second round matches, we have Abby Lath versus Rachel Evers, Rachel Ellering. We have Princessa Suhei versus Mercedes Martinez, which is going to be so good. We have Nicole Savoy again going against Candice LeRae. We have Mae Young going against Shayna Baszler.
BRE. Yeah.
We have Kairi Sane going against Bianca Belair. Dakota Kai going against Rhea Ripley. We have Serena Deeb versus Piper Niven. And last but not least, we have Lacey Evans versus Toni Storm. I don't know which of these matches I'm the most excited for. I mean, I definitely think that Mercedes Martinez versus Princessa Suhei is going to be insane. Shayna Baszler versus Mae Young is going to be insane. Dakota Kai versus Rhea Ripley, I'm going to die. R.A.P. Auntie. I'm so into this. Oh my God, and the Toni Storm versus Lacey Evans. I'm excited. Are you excited for the second round?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for Belair versus Sane. My goodness, that is going to be
so
mental. The character work that's going to come out of there. It's just, I am here for it.
Absolutely. All right, well. Oh, this is Honor Ramble. I don't want Honor Ramble. Banners. What is this? We need to have our own folder for banners. Just reminding myself I need to do that.
One.
It's in the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I know where you're going.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let's start at the top. Wait, where? Astrid, you said that you are? You said that you are, and I don't see you.
Uh-oh.
I was
You
gonna say
lied to
What?
me. You lied to
no. I was
me.
thinking of Melville's and everybody's. No, I found you. You want mine? I found mine.
Fine. You make your own plugs. Lying to me. How dare you?
Most of
How
them are in
dare
the first
you?
one. Don't look at me. Most of them are there. See, mine isn't, but the other ones are there.
All
Anyway,
right.
you can find me tomorrow on taking over with Ed as we talk about NXT post deadline. So leading up to the new year and see what happens now that we have Iron Survivors as Opa, Femi, and Julia are the Iron Survivors for 2024. So really excited about what leads to that moving forward. Other than that, you can find me again the week after doing taking over again with Andre though, because Ed will not be here because he's having surgery. And again, here with the ladies doing WCW again on Monday as well. So really excited and looking forward to that. You can find me on my Twitter and Blue Skies Astrid Pizarro, my Instagram and Threads Astrid Pizarro 20. And if you're here, most likely you're on my YouTube channel, so you can hit the like button on the video and subscribe if you haven't, and click on the bell to be notified when I upload or go live. But really looking forward to the next one.
Yay!
That's it.
All right. Let's see. I can't. My brain, eyes. There you go.
There.
So if you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can follow me on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow me on everything else, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me on my YouTube channel where I release review videos with my tag team partner, 2/3 Andre C. on Andre and Melball's Wrestling Talk, where we have NGPW Puroresu Review, where we talk about obviously NGPW, Stardom Review, Dream Review, Mari Gold, and our new show coming in January, Did You Noah? Obviously about Noah. We're having a lot of fun with these
Oh
ironic names. We
my
also
God.
have Chop
I
Talk,
love
where
the
we talk
name.
about all, right? It's like we're punny over here. We're old and punny. We also have Chop Talk, where we do reviews on all of the local professional wrestling that we check out in Edmonton, Alberta. So be sure to check out all of that if you want to get some new talent to check out. You can also catch us on our local establishment here on Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time with Andre C again for the Japanese wrestling update at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. This week will be a pre-recorded episode because we will be, well, we're going out. We're having our Christmas party. We're having the Horde Christmas party. So we're going to be out partying and somehow doing stuff the next day. I don't know why we planned that, but it
Yeah.
is what it is. And I think that's everything.
I'll
Busy
tip my
week.
hat to you. Wow. Well, if you came here and you also want to follow these beautiful women, and then you want to, ow, jeez. Let me just
The desk
punch.
deserved it.
Sorry. If you want to follow me, hi, I'm Monty Collins. I'm here every Monday for Women's Classic Wrestling. I'm also the mentioned Ring of Honor post show on Thursdays called Honor Ramble. We are in our Kimmy Sokol farewell tour, which I promised myself I won't cry until the farewell episode. But we only have a couple more weeks while she is here. It sounds like she's dying. She's not dying. She's doing cool
Oh.
things. She's not dying. I'm dying in my heart. You can catch me on Saturday for a post show about WWE doing things. And what is it called? Something
Saturday night's main
main.
event.
Yeah, main events. Main Saturday night main events. It sounds so fun. I love a good throwback. I love that Jesse the Body Ventura is going to be on commentary. I just love anything that's nostalgia. And then you can find me over on Fightful Overbooked, where we cry about wrestling with my co-host Kylie. We rescheduled Sunday's episode. So be on the lookout on all my socials when we reschedule episodes and when new episodes are going live. And if you're here, hi, it is our local establishment. We have all of our socials down below. You're going to want to follow us because you're going to want to stay up to date with everything. I mean, you saw the weekly ticker. the weekly little video right before. There is so much stuff going on every single night. You've heard all of us talk about all the things that we're doing. So you're going to want to turn on that notification bell. You're going to want to follow us. You're going to want to be a part of the conversation. Join us next time in the live chat. We want to see you there because we love you, or else. Wait, that's the wrong show. All in all, we're so glad that you're here. Thank you so much for taking your time. And what did we come up with last week? I forgot. What did we come up with last week for our sign off?
Remember.
I'm gonna have to go rewatch our episode.
We are.
All right. Well, I'll just sign off with we've been Women's Classic Wrestling, and you've been awesome. See you next time. Bye.